finished the last video with the reasons why you use the verb estar: location, health and well-being, adjectives that describe conditions, emotions, and when in the present progressive tense. Well, what about the verb ser? If that's what estar is used for, why do we use the verbs yo soy, tú eres, somos, son, es? So what we use these for is to describe things that are normal, things that are like characteristic traits about someone. So, of course, this would describe us, right? Somos guapos y simpáticos. That's just who we are. That defines us. That identifies us. It's a normal trait about all of us. We're just darn good looking and we're super kind. All of us, right? Dos, identity. So saying things like, ella es mi prima. I'm identifying who she is, what her relationship is to me. Somos compañeros de clase. We are classmates. That's who we are. Notice what it isn't. It's not a state of being. It's not an emotion. It's not what we talked about estar with. It's a deeper essence type of thing. And then basically everything else. That's not a great reason, but everything else that's not covered by estar or by a tener idiom. So remember the tener idioms. So like telling time, for example, son las 9 de la mañana, es la 1:05 de la tarde. Any telling time, any telling a date, es miércoles, es el 8 de abril, actually. And then tener phrases like tengo frío, tengo sed. Besides that, everything else is going to be used with a ser thing because it's either going to be an identity kind of thing, a normal trait, a characteristic trait of somebody. Ultimately, it comes down to this. It's the essence of something. It's the identity of something, not an estar for the time being, for the moment, condition or situation that you're in. So let's practice with this. I've got some sentences, and you have them on your handout as well. This will be good practice, good notes for you guys to have in. Ellos blank de mal humor hoy. De mal humor was one of our little phrases that we talk about with some of those emotions and conditions. So if they are in a bad mood today, clearly that's an emotion. That's a trait. That's a condition that they are in. So ellos están de mal humor hoy. All right, I'm going to put the other ones up, but I would like you to pause after I put it up. Here's número dos. Pause, see if you can fill it in, and then check as I click it in a second. So after each one, please pause it. Give yourself, your brain, an opportunity to come up with what that verb has to be. And the reason why. Give yourself a reason why. Mariana es mi amiga. It's her identity. It's who she is. It's a characteristic trait. It's an identity issue. Mi madre blank muy ocupada. Pause, fill it in, give a reason why. Está. It's her condition. She's really busy today. Something happened, so it has to do with something that happens to you to make you a certain way. So her boss just loaded a bunch of work on her. So mi madre está muy ocupada. Next one. Nosotros blank tristes. Pause it, fill in the right form, give a reason why. Estamos muy tristes. Es una emoción, es una condición. 5. Yo blank en mi cuarto. Yo estoy en mi cuarto. This is not an emotion or condition, but it definitely is a location. Location is going to be used with estar as well. 6. Okay, remember when we asked that very first question, one of the first weeks of class, ¿de dónde eres? ¿Eres tú de Chicago? Right? So having to do with, that's your essence, where you are from. That's where you're born. That's where your roots go deep. So you may want to add that to your handout, to the notes where it says the ser uses, to say your origin, where you are from. Número 7. Los exámenes no son difíciles. Has nothing to do with a state that the tests are in for the time being. It's the way that they are. It's the characteristic way of them not being difficult. No son difíciles. 8. Ellos están nerviosos para el examen. There's a test coming up. That's a situation that will cause us to be nervous, that causes them to be nervous. So ellos están nerviosos. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to pause it right here. You're going to pause it as well. Do the second page, the second installment of those ser estar things, and then I'm going to flip through them pretty quickly. So give yourself some time to determine why you're using ser or estar, and then when you're ready, hit the play button, and I will click through those fairly quickly. Here we go. I'm going to give you guys those examples on the next slide. Los profesores están enseñando. This progressive tense we've just been spending time on. ¿Cómo está tu abuelo? How is he doing? Well, how's his well-being? ¿Cómo está tu abuelo? This is a different question. I'm not asking his health. I'm asking about what's your grandfather like? What kind of person? How is he as a person? What is his essence? So because I'm talking about that deeper, not just for the time being deal, I want to know ¿Cómo es tu abuelo? I would answer that question also with an es. Mi abuelo es muy simpático, es bajo, es inteligente, es trabajador. All of those characteristics that deeply describe him. 12. Nosotras estamos muy cansadas. It's an emotion. It's a, I don't know, not an emotion. It's a state. Está sucia la casa. Is the house dirty? And it's the state that it's in again. Mis padres son muy amables. I guess you could put están in there. But to me, to say that my parents are really, really kind people, or really friendly people, I want to think that that goes down deep. That's a defining trait and characteristic of them. 15. Hoy es viernes has to do with the day of the week. Hoy no es viernes, hoy es miércoles, but anyway, we'll go with that one. And then 16. Mis hermanos están ocupados. Hoy has to do with our current state, our condition. We are really busy. They are really busy today. Están ocupados hoy. Alrighty. Let's practice those a little bit more. So I'm going to ask you again, I'm going to put the next one up. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to have you guys read it to yourselves. You're going, you pause it as well, and then come up with the answer to that question. All of these, notice, are going to be asking the question, ¿Cómo está la gente? What I'm trying to get at is what emotion, what condition are they in, or are these things in? So pause now, read it aloud, come up with an answer to the question. Sandra está muy ocupada, está nerviosa, está preocupada. There's a few adjectives that could work, but all of them feminine. Feminine because Sandra is a she. Sorry, inadvertently paused. I'm going to have you pause it now. Read it to yourself. Come up with the answer to that question. Here we go. Next one. Pause. Read it aloud. Answer the question. Okay, to this one I would say, ¿Cómo está Susana? Ella está enamorada, right? Or ella está alegre, or está feliz, or está contenta. Any of those adjectives to describe her. Pause, read it, and give yourself an answer to the question. Mis compañeras están ocupadas. Watch adjective forms, make sure that those agree. I will have you do that on the quiz, by the way. I'm going to have you fill it in with the correct form of that adjective, otherwise it's going to be counted half off, so be sure that you can give me the right form of those adjectives. Next one. Pause, read it, answer the question. Marta está muy alegre, muy feliz, muy contenta. Ella está... yeah, those are the things that I would say. A couple more. Pause, read it, answer. Carlos está equivocado. 1 y 1 no son 3. 1 y 1 son 2. So he's wrong. He's mistaken. He's not correct about that. So está equivocado. Equivocado. Next one. Oh, it's a big long one. Pause it. Read it aloud. Answer the question. Mis abuelos están confundidos. Right? They are confused. They don't know which way to go because they don't never been here before. So están confundidos. Confundidos. Okay, those adjectives are going to be on the prueba along with all of the hotel words on the bottom left. So keep working on those. One more thing, not in the quiz that we're going to be talking about today, is middle column, bottom box, where you see these numbers. So I'm going to do it with these little perritos. I'm going to, as you guys know, I think you know because I talk about them a lot. Me gustan los perros mucho. I have one and she's super vieja, but she's my sweet baby. And so you know how I love these little guys. And so we know how to count, of course. We know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we don't know are the words that are called ordinal numbers that order things in an order, so first, second, third. I've got some pictures of some perros here. And I'm going to ask you to tell me, again, keep your finger on the pause button. I'd like you to pause it after I get a few and answer my questions. So I have here, I've got them out of order here. El primer perro, the first dog. Repitan, el primer perro. El segundo perro blanco, el segundo perro. Repitan, el segundo perro. Then we will go on to el tercer perro. Repitan el tercer perro. Y el cuarto perro. Repitan el cuarto perro. So I have 1, 2, 3 y 4, but the first dog, el primer perro, el segundo perro, el tercer perro, el cuarto perro. I'd like you to pause it. Think about which one you like the most. ¿Qué perro prefieres? Yo personalmente, yo prefiero el tercer perro. So pause it, give yourself an answer to that question. Okay, now that's primer, segundo, tercer, cuarto. You can see forms of those words that we've been talking about with numbers. We're going to add a few. Let's go to the fifth dog, which, again, if I can get this to advance, my cursor's never in the right place. El quinto perro, quinto. It sounds a little bit like quince, right? Quinto perro, repitan. Ay, el sexto perro, repitan el sexto perro. Y el séptimo perro. Ah, so cute. El séptimo perro. Okay, pause it. Tell yourself which one you prefer of el quinto perro, el sexto perro, o el séptimo perro. Yo prefiero el sexto perro, creo. Okay, keep going. How about el octavo perro, that little wiener dog? El octavo. You hear the word ocho a little bit in there. El noveno perro. Ay, mi corazón. Y el décimo perro. Do you hear the word decimal in there? Décimo. Also, you hear the word 10. Has to do with 10. El décimo perro. Pause and tell me which one of those three, octavo, noveno, o décimo perro, prefieres. Okay, out of all of them, I would say probably yo prefiero el noveno perro o el sexto perro. I don't know. We all have different preferences, so it can be whatever one you want. But look again at those ordinal numbers that you see middle column of on the bottom box, and talk through those. And then I just want just a few notes about those. And we're almost done with this video, so if I ran out of time, please go back to the PowerPoint and look at this. They go before the noun. Just like adjectives, they agree with the noun, male, female, singular, plural. So the fifth person, la quinta persona. The second ship, el segundo barco. Okay? La octava estación. Now, there's two that I want you to remember, these last two. The shortened versions of those.